What's up, sports fans? Today I'll be veering off of sports for a little bit, and I just want to talk about the sequel trilogy of Star Wars. I saw Episode 9 last night, The Rise of Skywalker. If you haven't seen it, this is a spoiler video, so I would click off right now if you do want to see it and haven't seen it yet. But anyways, I just feel like I had to give my 2 cents on the trilogy and the movie from last night, for that matter. More so on the trilogy, I would say. But yeah, I'm a little frustrated, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie. I am a huge Star Wars fan, so it's kind of frustrating exactly what happened. But I have written up today the 5 reasons that allowed Disney to ruin Star Wars, essentially. Now, we know that the prequels weren't special. Episode 3, however, I believe, some people believe this as well, not many, but Episode 3 is actually a good movie. Episode 2 is pathetic. Episode 1 is just boring. So I get it. We weren't coming off of anything great, and they somehow made it worse. And they did it by making our characters illegitimate in my eyes. And it all starts out with Rey. I mean, they made Rey the equivalent of Jesus reborn. She cannot die. Dude, listen. Not only did she beat Luke in one-on-one combat, not only has she never lost a fight against Kylo Ren, literally never. Which means she's not, that means she's not going, she doesn't have to overcome the obstacles that most characters have to overcome. Just in simple fantasy lore. Let me give you the perfect example. Luke, he literally gets his hand cut off. But no, here's the thing with Rey. Guess what, guys? If you didn't know, she can now regenerate. She can heal flesh wounds now. Even an entire lightsaber stab to Kylo Ren's stomach, she can re-heal. I mean, what can't Rey do? Let's be honest, guys. What can't Rey do? That's my point. That's why I'm so angry. Let's get into the next point, boys. Number 2 is a pretty simple one. I got Kathleen Kennedy and her political agenda. If you don't know who that is, that's the woman running Star Wars right now. She's running the franchise, the movies, and everything like that. Of course she works for Disney, but she is clearly, and let me start off by saying this. I am not going to say where I lean politically. I would say that I'm more so neutral than anything, to be honest with you. But I have no issue with her political agenda. It's just the point that she's putting her political agenda into Star Wars, which I think is a bunch of bullshit, like most real Star Wars fans should think. She is clearly a liberal feminist. Number 1 example, Rey. I mean, Rey is unbeatable. She is making Rey literally unbeatable. Rey feels unbeatable. I never doubt for a second that Rey is not going to come out fully healed from any fight. Literally. I don't doubt it for a second. Rey is like that. They end the movie where Rey almost dies and then Ben has to give up his life for her. I like that. I like that aspect of the movie, but the issue is, Rey feels unbeatable before then. So it's like, I don't see that coming at all, and it's not a pleasant surprise. It's a surprise, it's like, oh, they just did that. It would feel more rewarding if she had to lose. If she lost a limb or something. Maybe she loses a friend. Why does nobody die in the movie as well? It seems like. Jesus fuck. Anyways. Kathleen and listen, here's the other thing, man. If you didn't know, at the very end of the movie, there are 2 females kissing on screen. I have no issue with all of this. I just want to remind you that. It's just that, Kathleen Kennedy, we all know you're a liberal feminist to begin with. You really are going to throw that into the movie? Really? That just makes it worse. That just makes it seem more so like you're sticking your thumb into Star Wars, which I don't want, Kathleen Kennedy. I don't want it. Now let's get to the next point, boys. Alright, the next point I got is that the entire trilogy feels pointless. Now what I mean by this is, and like I said, spoilers, click off if you haven't watched. That should have been my only warning, but like I said, this movie feels pointless. Palpatine is actually in this movie. He's in episode 9. And apparently the whole time he's, fiddling the strings behind the scenes with Snoke and Kylo Ren or whatever. But I mean, Palpatine, it's like he's hanging on by a thread, and it just feels like it's a pointless movie. Like, he should have just died when Vader threw him over the ventilator. I don't get why they didn't just have him die there. Actually, that's what was supposed to happen until Disney bought into the franchise and basically said, hey, George Lucas, write us this bullshit script that you're not going to give a damn about because we just paid you $5 billion to do it. Anyways, let's get into the next point. The fourth point I got is that 2 of these movies, I really do think copy the originals in a lot of ways. Especially Episode 7 copies, and it's essentially almost a remake of Episode 4. It's disgusting to me. You're just using the same stuff that's worked before because you know it'll work again. And somehow, you botched it to a point where it almost feels like it didn't work again. That's what's crazy, Kathleen Kennedy, Rian Johnson, J.J. Abrams. How did you let this happen? Rian Johnson directed Episode 8, J.J. Abrams directed Episode 7 and Episode 9, and they both did a pathetic job. Alright? Especially on Episode 8 and 9. Episode 7, I was a little bit optimistic about. That's not even the way I would have started the trilogy. This is what I'm saying when I say the whole trilogy feels pointless and you're copying the originals. Not only does half of the trilogy feel like deja vu, also, it feels like a pointless story. You never had to tell the story. You're just telling the story so you can sell more Lego sets, right? But let me get into that. That's my last point, boys. Alright, point 5 is that Disney only cares about merchandising. Now what I mean by that is, they only care about selling Rey t-shirts, Rey lightsabers, Legos of the new trilogy. Anything they can get their hands on money-wise. We all know Disney is a money hoard. Right, just like any corporate company in America. But Disney more so than others. They're starting to almost turn this whole thing into not a monopoly, but they're really taking over, man. They got Marvel, they got Disney, they got Pixar. They got Marvel, they got Star Wars, they got Pixar. They have a ton of shit now. And my God, they're really starting to take over. And Star Wars is getting the bad end of the stick. Because they paid $5 billion for it and they realized they fucked up at this point. So now all they care about is merchandising. They want to sell t-shirts. They want to sell Lego sets, video games, anything they can get their hands on. Literally. Anyways, I'm sorry I had to veer off of sports. I really felt the need to because that's just how bad this trilogy was and how pointless it was. But I really do appreciate you guys watching. For those of you who did stick around for the whole video, if you're new, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I'm pushing at least 1 sports video daily. So if you would like to see that, please subscribe. Also, if you'd like to see more rant videos, please comment and let me know. I can rant on any topic, essentially. I can rant on sports. I can rant on whatever you would like me to rant on. But I'm thinking of doing a mini-series on the channel that's kind of centered around rant videos. So tell me if you think that's a good idea. Also, turn on notifications and leave a like if you enjoy it. Thanks for watching, boys. I'll see you next time.